What's up, filmmakers? Today I'm diving into a lens kit that is made for creators who want serious cinema quality without breaking into the ultra high-end space. This is the Sirui Vision Prime VP-1 cinema lens kit, a trio of t1.4 aperture that gives you that Sony G Master level of performance, but in a cinema focused body, as you can see. Let's break this video down. I'm gonna do some tests and give you my overall opinion if this is something that you are interested in getting. So let's get on with the video. The kit comes with 3 lenses. You have a 24mm, a 35mm, and a 50mm, all at a fast t1.4 aperture. They ship in a rugged Pelican-style hard case with foam cutouts. Each lens features a full manual cinema housing with geared rings for focus and iris. They're designed to deliver consistency, sharpness, minimal distortion, barely any chromatic aberration, and barely any focus breathing, which is super awesome. And the consistency of the sharpness also is insane. That's why I'm gonna do a series of tests so you guys can check these lenses out and see if this is a potential grab for you guys, because I think they are. These lenses are very awesome. One of the standout features of these lenses is obviously the swappable mounts on the back. Sirui gives you a flexibility right out the box. If you have a Canon RF system, Sony E, Nikon Z, and Leica L, if you're doing like a multi-cam type shooting style, or if you're just switching between systems within sets, that's a huge deal. And the process is just very simple to actually swap these mounts. You're gonna see the diameter inside has 4 screws. You're gonna remove that, lift the mount obviously, and get the mount that you wish to put in. Another cool thing about all of these mounts that are weather sealed, which is very neat that they included that on these lenses. So Sirui did not miss out on packing features on these lenses. Build wise, these feel true cinema tools. All metal construction, smooth dampening on the focus throw. Like I said, it has a consistent weight all across all 3 of the lenses. Right now, as I'm rotating, it feels like the right amount of pressure, not too tight and not too loose, which is very good. The sharpening test on all 3 lenses, like I said, all 3 lenses were surprisingly sharp at t1.4 wide open, especially, you know, for cinema glass. You guys on this price range, they tend to be soft, but that's not the case with these 3 lenses. So starting with the 24mm, as you can see, it is very sharp at t1.4 right on the center, but it does suffer a little bit on softness around the edges. Not a deal breaker, but you know, stopping down right now to t2.8, as you can see, it starts compiling the image a lot more sharper. And if you keep just stepping down, it's only gonna get sharper. If you can see right now at T4, it is the sharpest as all of them, which is the most I would actually step down on the lens is T4, maybe T5.6. So you can also check the 5.6 how it looks, and it's very sharp. Moving on to the 35mm, on this test, as you can see, it is very sharp all across the entire image. Stepping down to T2.8, it is very sharp, and T4, it is very sharp. 5.6, as you can see, it is the sharpest. Now moving on to the 50mm, now this is insane. T1.4, the entire screen is sharp like razor. That thing is super sharp, as you can see. And just stepping down to T2.8, it gets even more sharper, to be expected obviously. Then T4, look how it looks, very sharp. And T5.6, you know, extremely sharp. So if you're looking for sharpness, these lenses are gonna deliver that across all 3 lenses. So sharpness test, yeah, I give it a positive ups on that department. When pushed against high contrast edges and, you know, bright highlights, there's very minimal chromatic aberration, even at wide open at T1.4. Sirui clearly put their thought in the optical coatings on these lenses, so there's a very natural look into the highlights with no harsh color fringing or out of the ordinary. And if you notice the image, it has a nice fall off. I mean, Sirui did actually gave a lot of thought when they did the coating on these lenses. So I would say chromatic aberration is at none to very, very minimal, which is very good. Moving on to the flare test. When it comes to the flare, these lenses will give you a nice balance. At T1.4, you'll see some soft vintage style kind of flares. They're not overpowering, and they actually add character to the image. When you step down a bit, the flares lighten up and gives you more control. For me, it's like a cinematic look without just being messy. It looks very, very good. So the flares on these three lenses, Sirui did a great job. I love how it handles flares. So if this is something that you like, that type of vintage type of look, these lenses will give it to you when it's flaring. But overall, it is a very clean lens that's, plenty of room to do whatever you want in post. Focus breathing is very controlled across the set. You'll notice only a slight frame shift, nothing out of the ordinary when, racking focus. It's very subtle, definitely better than most lenses at this price range, to be honest. Very usable if you're doing like narrative work or commercial work. If you're worried about focus breathing, you're good to go with these lenses. You're barely gonna see any. Look at the 24mm racking between the two toys. Is any noticeable focus breathing that I saw? Again, the 35mm also, as you can see, is very controlled. No focus breathing that's very out of the ordinary or super powering. And the 50mm, as you can see, these lenses don't suffer from focus breathing in a way that other lenses do. So that's why I say minimal to none focus breathing, which Sirui, great job. That is awesome that you was able to pull this off. So what's the cost for the set with the hard case? You're looking at $1,899 US. But if you choose to buy the lenses individually, they will cost you $649 US. But I guess, you get the set, save some cash, and good to go. So, but the best part is that Sirui actually looked out and sent me a 5% discount for you guys if you use my affiliate link in the description. All you have to do at checkout is use promo code RIC5 and you'll save 5% off, which helps with the entire set, which also this whole madness with the tariffs, some cash back in your pocket is very welcome. So yeah, thank you, Sirui. After spending some time with the VP-1 lens set, I can honestly and confidently say that these lenses are amazing. They pack a punch way above its class, I have to say. You're talking about a 1.4 aperture, sharpness all across all three lenses, which that's a big win. And honestly, it holds its own with, comparing these with other cinema glasses that are in the market that delivers this type of performance. You're looking at lenses over $1,300 individually. So these lenses perform way above its own class, and Sirui delivered a great product. I'm not saying that, they didn't pay me to say it, but they did ask me to give my honest review. The only negative I have to say about this lens that I prefer PL mount, but I guess to keep the cost down, they actually, went with this route, which is still awesome. I mean, if you are a person that you're just, doing basic content, then also professional, then you're good with these glasses. So you're not going to break the bank. You're looking at higher brands, something like this is going to be close to like, I would say $5,000, $6,000. Mount swappable, and the fact that Sirui delivered this for you guys at a cheap, I think this is worth the while and worth taking a look at. So this is gonna be it for me. I hope you found this video useful, informative, and if you did, go out there, create, and I'm gonna catch you guys in the next video. Peace.